Hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Tally.
And we are the Lazy Book Lovers. This is a podcast with book lovers who procrastinate about reading and have never-ending to-be-read piles. Today's episode is a feature of upcoming indie book releases or independently published releases. We do these every now and again. These come to us from various different sources. These are all ones that Natalie have found.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do them kind of quarterly. So most of these should be like April, May, June, slightly maybe going into July.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of lovely people send us their books, so we're going to do a special one just on
Ones we've been
ones that
sent.
you've submitted as well. So
Yeah.
that'll come up next month.
We do have a form on our website, so if you are an indie author or you know of an indie author, you could submit on the form on our website, which is lazybookloverspodcast.wordpress.com. And there's a little form you can submit there that turns out directly to my inbox, which is why they're not included in today's episode. Also,
they could have, so that episode would be ones that have been submitted to us and may have already come out, etc., etc.
Yeah, we're not sure on the dates on them. And also, I'm just going to get ahead of how croaky I sound. We've both been ill for a bit. This is the best my voice has sounded in about 3 weeks. Just enjoy it, you know? Before we get into today's recs, just to let you know, our May-June buddy read is still going on. Got a couple weeks, I think, by the time this episode will come out, still to read it. It's a very short book. It's only 150 pages.
What's it called again? Sorry.
A Thorn Among Roses.
That's it. It's a retelling.
It's a Beauty of the Beast retelling, but sapphic.
And it's available on KU if you have KU.
So yeah, you've still got time to join that. And if you would like to talk to us a bit more or sort of start to join a book community, which we're hoping to build, you can subscribe to our Ko-fi link. You get an exclusive Discord link and you can chat to us there and hopefully some more book lovers eventually. If we get to build the little book nerd community that we want to build there. Mm-hmm. All right, go with the recs.
Okay,
Natalie,
right. On. So these, as I said, should mostly be April, May, June-ish. So the first one is Poison Heart by May Pierce, and this came out on the 11th of April. I will read the synopsis blurb. I can never remember what it is.
Yeah, we did look it up once and then immediately forgot.
Yeah, exactly. It was ages ago. So her marriage was a lie. Anita Orazio, sorry.
Oh, do we have to do the names disclaimer?
Oh yeah, I can't pronounce names of any description.
Of any origin.
Yeah. Had never been interested in any man before she met her handsome new husband. He'd courted her with relentless energy and she'd fallen hard and fast like a fool until she overheard him saying that he only married her to get an introduction to the gardener. Oh. Everyone in Greenwich Bay whispered the name of the reclusive assassin, the anonymous poisoner who could provide wares for anyone who could afford him or find him. Romeo needed help from the gardener, and he had made a deal to marry Anita to get it. He was the heir to the Orazio empire, but if he didn't act soon, there would be no legacy to inherit. A dark poison was running through the veins of his father's organisation. The only way to combat it was a stronger poison. Romeo hadn't wanted to marry, and Anita was too sweet, too innocent for the world he lived in. He had to keep his distance, even if it broke him. But Anita had a secret, one her husband would kill for. He wanted an introduction to the famed poisoner, the gardener. Too bad he didn't realise he'd married her.
Oh!
Is that too much? Is that spoilers in a synopsis?
Oh, so she's like meant to be all sweet and innocent, and then she's the gardener. I love that.
That sounds so good. So this is a romance.
See, it kind of started to sound like, oh, it's a dark romance type thing, and then, twist.
Yeah.
I like that.
So this is a slow burn romance, apparently. So I usually try and do a little description of the cover. So the cover has a heart shape and it's been made out of foliage and then like bottles of poison.
We see.
With the title of the book across the
Oh, I like that. So it's like green and then there's black background and it's all kind of like foresty and atmospheric. I like that.
So, yeah, that sounds really interesting, actually. 288 pages.
Well, that's not bad.
Not too bad for a romance. If you are new here, these do tend to skew bit more fantasy heavy, because that tends to be what me and Tony read a lot
Yeah,
of.
so obviously that's what we're seeing on our algorithms.
Yeah.
And the ones we source ourselves are basically what we find through sort of Book Talk, Instagram, maybe BookTube.
Yeah, so it's nice every now and then we have a few, like, romance or something sprinkled in.
We do try a bit, but not that hard, because it's our podcast.
Yeah, I'm mostly talking about the ones in an ideal world, I would have the time to read. Yeah. So next one is called The Masks We Wear, and this came out on the 11th of April. Wait, didn't the other one come out on the 11th of April? Huh. Interesting. And this is the first in a series called The False Kin Chronicles, and this is by B.D. Carpenter. So this is a YA speculative fiction fantasy. Mythological creatures live among us in secret, even to each other, fearful of what humans would do to them if discovered. Bo is a genius gnome with ambition. His inventions could change the world if only his common sense could keep up. Meep is a lynx with inhuman gymnastic skills and a desire to do something more meaningful with her life than serve coffee. Meep. With the appearance of one bizarre stranger in their mundane little town in the Pacific Northwest, the destinies of Bo and Meep collide in the most unexpected ways. They must question everything they think they know and team up with witches, goblins and fae, who are also hiding in secret, to save the world as they know it. The problem is, the further they wander into the dangers that lurk in the shadows, the more they realise a startling truth. Is anyone what they seem to be? I think this sounds so good.
I don't know many things with like gnomes and goblins and whatever.
No! Gnomes and
it's
goblins.
It's a bit D&D.
Fae, am I? So the cover has like the silhouette of a woman. It's purple. And then inside it has the silhouettes of presumably the main characters.
Okay, interesting. It's not the kind of cover I would have thought that book would have from the description. But I like that. That's very like Throne of Glass, the original covers.
Ah, yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Except it's a silhouette, not you can't see the faces.
Yeah. So yeah, just under 300 pages. Sounds good.
Yep.
We'll see if it's MKU, maybe I'll read it. Oh my god, this next one. Okay, so.
Alright.
Wait, is this self-published? I'm going to talk about it anyway because, yeah, it is self-published, yeah. The cover gives me, what's her name? Cassandra
Clare?
No. The one who did Serpent and the Wings of Night.
Carissa Broadbent.
Thank you. One of her series. This looks like the cover of one of her series. It's called Serpents of Sky and Flame, and it's the first in the Depraved Dragon series. I'll show you the cover first because I just...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
Gorgeous. The colour palette
the
stunning.
Oranges against the black.
Dragon. So, Dragon. Dragon captures Maiden. Maiden makes Dragon's life absolute hell. At the end, fantasy romance, I thought so. At the end of a terrible war, a sorcerer casts a curse that destroys every female in the entire race of dragons.
Ooh.
In retaliation, Kyragan, the Dragon Prince, leads a raid on the sorcerer's kingdom, during which the male dragons snatch human women and carry them off to the dragon's domain. When Princess Cerelia is captured by the Prince of Dragons and taken to his cave, she is furious, terrified, and determined to make his existence so miserable he'll either have to kill her or let her go. Kyragan's frustration with his petty captive is compounded by the fact that his plan to turn all the human women into female dragons isn't working. The enchantress he captured isn't powerful enough to work that spell. The most she can do is give the male dragons the ability to shift into human form for a number of hours each day.
Oh. How convenient.
As Cerelia and the other captured women scheme for their freedom, the dragons struggle to cope with the strangeness of having human bodies for the first time. Neither side realises that a much greater enemy is watching, waiting to destroy them all. This spicy adult fantasy romance is perfect for fans of Rebecca Yarros and Carissa Broadbent and Katie Robert. Contains intense themes. Reading guidance can be found at the beginning of the book or on the author's website.
Nice. It's got dragons and it's smut.
Yeah, It is what it is. If you enjoy these kind of books, I think you probably already know about this. Wait, did I say the author? Rebecca F. Kenny, yeah.
Oh,
In case I didn't say.
Oh, yeah. I know this author. Because have I read books by them?
No, there's a Rebecca Kennedy.
Maybe it's them I'm mixing them up with. I do this a lot.
Yeah. This author, the covers of her books all look great. Oh, no, yeah. Wait, did you read that
Sugar
one?
and Spice, yeah, I read that one. Yeah.
Oh, there's a second one to it. Have you read that second one?
No.
Oh.
We're meaning to get around to it.
Yeah. That's the one with the sperm that tastes like
candy. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you give this one a try, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I like their writing style. It was a bit silly, like the whole, obviously, the elf.
I mean, it was meant to be silly, wasn't it? It was a silly concept.
It was an entertaining story, not very long either, so... A bit tongue-in-cheek fantasy, basically.
Yeah. I'm doing a fantasy romance challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Over June, July, August, so I do need some fantasy romance recommendations, particularly indie ones. I want to try and do indie ones if I can. Yeah, there's different prompts I need to tick off, so I might read that one and it might tick off some prompts for me. Alright, next on the list is called, this is a romance, and it's called Cats Out of the Bag by L.Caroline. And it says, what do you do when your cat decides to take fate by the balls and hook you up with the world's most famous actor? You thank her and give her extra tuna, of course. So, Dr. Alexis Masters and Hollywood A-list actor Jason Adams aren't looking for love. But when a fateful encounter brings them together, courtesy of Slinky the cat, neither is able to resist the pull. Will this chance encounter blossom into a true love story, or will busy careers and insecurities squash their chances? And the cover is like one of those illustrated...
Yeah.
The two characters and then the cat's on her shoulder.
Like the popular style for romance books at the moment. Which, like, oh my god, the drama about that going on BookTok for a bit.
I skipped past it.
And I was like, are you kidding me? What if a child picked this up? Why the fuck are you letting them just run rampant around Waterstones?
Picking up books.
And then not checking what the contents is?
Why are you letting a child pick up an adult book? Like, it's not going to be in a kids section.
Yeah. That argument, I was like, that's ridiculous. This is a ridiculous argument.
Straw man argument.
And there being like too much smut and it's gone mad. And I'm like, oh, just shut up. Let people enjoy themselves.
Yeah. Just look at the description and you'll realise this isn't appropriate or...
Like, the literature that you're saying is like what we're not getting enough of. It's out there. You just need to look for it.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, God, romance authors are having a bit more respect for a moment. Like, so calm down. It's because it's enjoyed by women and it's written by women that you're doing this. Yeah,
and as the mainstream have realised that women are reading books that have sex in it, they're getting all up in arms about it. And all.
Oh, has the spicy stuff gone too far? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I was like... Oh.
Like, I'm not being funny, but... Like, Pornhub has been going for how long? And people are chill with that. Like, come on.
Also, it's just you've got an older audience who are reading books, so therefore the content is going to cater to an older audience. That is it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's happened. There's no mysterious... Because of BookTok or whatever, you've got this whole generation of women in their 20s and 30s getting into reading more. Mm-hmm. Those women are older. They're not going to want to read YA stories. Therefore, the content has gotten older with them.
Yeah.
And people are writing to that because it's a market that is doing well. Like, all of these debates online are driving me mad. I'm like, it feels really obvious to me. And you are not superior because you don't... If you don't enjoy smut, fair enough.
Yeah, just don't read it.
Just don't read it. But you're not better than someone who enjoys a spicy story. Anyway, sorry. It's been really getting on my nerves.
I've recently been reading this series of books on KU.
Okay.
And the third one comes out on the 15th of May. So for us, it's already come out.
Yeah.
And it's called The Falling for Fables. The first book is called Forged by Magic. I've just finished Brood in Magic, and this one's called Mind in Magic.
Okay.
And they are like this fantasy, I guess fantasy romance, and they're like interconnecting standalones, like with characters that kind of go across them all. So this one follows, and it's by Jenna Wolfheart. And this one follows each year the chasm-dwelling dwarfs compete in a series of trials to find the best among them. Chocolate-loving Astrid has never bothered to enter. She'd rather tend to her garden, bake moss cakes, or search the mines for a way to break her curse, which forever binds her to the mountains. But someone else puts forth her name. She has no choice but to take part, especially when she learns the champion will win the Everstone, a gemstone with enough magic to break her curse. At long last, Astrid's freedom is within reach. Of course, nothing is ever that simple. An infuriating shadow demon joins the competition. Dead set on winning the Everstone himself, he'll do whatever it takes to succeed, particularly if it involves pilfering Astrid's cakes or tormenting her until she gives up hope. But when the Everstone goes missing, they agree to join forces to track it down, and deep within the mines, they discover something in each other that is more powerful than magic. It's a standalone, cosy romantasy set in a whimsical world of Falling for Fables. So, what I've learnt about this series of books, I am reading it, I'm enjoying it, is they all are the same book, but just different characters.
Okay.
So, they all follow a male and a female that get thrown together through a competition, or the first one's a competition, this one's a competition, the second one is a festival. Something gets stolen, and then they have to join forces to try and find it.
Okay. So they all kind of follow the same formula.
They all follow the same plot. Now, I don't have a problem with that. It's quite fun.
Easy reading.
The thing I dislike that happens in both book 1 and 2, and I don't know, I'm guessing it's going to happen in this, is the female is always a virgin.
Oh.
And I'm not into it.
I'm glad generally we're moving away from them being blushing innocent.
Like, I don't really... Not needed. It's not needed at all. It serves nothing to the storyline. It's just waste of words that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And I skim over it because it serves no purpose.
And also, it is a bit of a power imbalance sometimes. Because things aren't, always explained well on what's going on.
Yeah.
For a first time. When one person has more experience than the other with these books.
Yeah,
inevitably.
The sex scenes are written with no awkwardness or fumbling, so the bit about one of them being a virgin is completely irrelevant and doesn't need to be there. But apart from that, I'm enjoying them. I just wish the author wouldn't throw that part in for whatever reason they feel we need to put that in there. And they do have a few other series, but I don't know whether that's something that they put. I haven't read their other series. I don't know if that's something that's like an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I'm enjoying it. The covers are cute.
It's always... Oh, I know this series. I know, I recognise the covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of fantasy-looking couples.
The couple, and then the background gives a little hint to,
the story.
The theme of the story. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it, despite the plot being copy and paste almost. The characters are not. They're very
okay, nice.
separate.
I don't mind that.
So that's why I don't mind that they kind of have... There's a lot of book series have...
it's no different to Ali Hazelwood.
Exactly, yeah.
Hers have the same formula, are written to a trope.
Yeah.
You know the rhythm of those books. Yeah, they are all the same.
All of them, they hate each other to begin with. And then, yeah. It's fun, I like it. And there's dragons in this world, which is cute. I like that.
Dragons and vampires are having their moment. I love it.
As they should. Okay, so the next one is coming out on the 4th of June. Is that today for us? That is. Oh, happy release day. And this is Fate of the Sun King by Nisha J. Tooley. So we read the first one in this series.
For our last
buddy read. Yeah. So the third one comes out today.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is the Artifacts of Uranus series.
I didn't quite clock the series title for that book.
I don't...
Oh, bad.
I'm not going to read this description. Definitely going to be spoilers.
We did do... There's a whole episode on the first book in the series because it was our buddy read. So there's only a few episodes ago for you.
The description for the first book is: The Bachelor meets Hunger Games when 10 women face off in a deadly battle where only one can win the king's hand and ascend to the exalted throne of the Sun Queen. I think that's a nice little quick synopsis of it.
And then
we both enjoyed the first book, and I think we're both intending on continuing with this series. I think it's going to be 4 books eventually in a series, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure we looked up the final one comes out November, December.
November, end of November, yeah. So it's Trial of the Sun Queen, Rule of the Aurora King, Fate of the Sun King, and Tale of the Heart Queen. So yeah, I mean, we enjoyed it. It hits a lot of those fun fantasy tropes that we love.
And the main character is something more than you think her to be for most of the book. So that's how it ends up having enough plot for 3 more books beyond this whole bachelor concept.
Oh, and she's not a blushing virgin.
Yes.
We both particularly enjoyed that she wasn't written that way, didn't we?
Yeah.
She's a bit of a badass, actually.
Yeah.
At the beginning, she's a prisoner, so she is a massive badass.
Yeah, and just quite blunt.
Yeah.
Which I quite enjoy that.
I really enjoyed the fact that they had... so, as a prisoner, she always shaves her head. I can't remember if that's to get rid of the lice or if they have to shave their head.
No, their head gets shaved by the prison warden. Usually as a punishment, not really bad, but they say it's for lice.
Yeah. And then they have like these magic pills that the Fae make for her to grow her hair, because we can't have a female protagonist with no hair.
No.
But no, I really enjoyed that book. I read it quite quickly because I left it a bit late to read it. We both did. Okay, the next book, I have no real description of it. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
The author's put no description on Storygraph, but I like this author.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Angela J. Ford, and the book is called Mage Bride, and it's the first in the Betrayed Brides series, and this comes out on the 11th of June. So all it says is... She's a powerful mage, he's a hardened warrior. It will take them both to slay a monster, and it's a fantasy romance. I mean...
What more do we need?
It's 200 pages.
And
the cover just has the beautiful looking couple set against like a wintry wonderland.
We're getting more and more of these that have like real people on as well, like less of the cartoony ones. I'm noticing that trend.
Yeah, they're still illustrated, but they're more realistic in how they're rendered. Yeah. There's that... I can't remember what they're called. There's a romance imprint who, on TikTok, they share the behind the scenes of taking photos of the actors for their books. I don't like the way their books look with real people, but I enjoy watching them. You know what? Photos shoot.
Cassandra Clare on her Instagram was doing for the anniversary, because the anniversary of the Mortal Instruments series happened recently. So she was showing how they got the pictures that were on the covers, because they obviously look illustrated.
Yeah.
But she showed the images that were taken that were then used and then illustrated upon. Oh. And it's like a real person who posed. And she sort of did a bit about the behind the scenes of how they posed him and what they tried.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do enjoy learning about like cover design and stuff.
Because that same format is what she has gone on to use for every single book since. Yeah. As well. So it was quite interesting.
It's quite cool. Yeah, I do enjoy learning about cover design.
Because she showed all the different poses they tried, because it's Jace on the covers. They like showed all the different poses they tried him in and stuff, and why they ended up on the one they did, and it was good. It was interesting.
Okay, so this is my last one.
We've been...
I know, right?
So efficient. These are going to be very short episodes.
Sorry. This comes out on the 25th of June, but it's... Okay, so there's a bit of a story on this one.
Yeah.
So it's by Rob J. Hayes, who you may know from his book Along the Razor's Edge.
Have you got a cover?
Yeah.
That one.
I can't remember. I'm really annoyed. It was in the Audible Plus catalogue, but they've taken it out now, and I should listen to it straight away.
Oh, no, I don't recognise it. It feels vaguely familiar.
Along the Razor's Edge was a finalist or a winner of one of the Spiffbo years, if you follow that competition.
Okay.
The Spiffbo self-published fantasy blog off. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, you haven't heard you talk about that before.
So he is doing a Kickstarter. He's writing 3 trilogies set in the same world, but following different characters.
Okay.
In the same, I believe, not the same timeline. I think they're like 3 points in the timeline.
Okay.
And he's releasing them number 1 from each trilogy, then number 2 from each trilogy. So you're meant to read them
interesting
like that. So you read, they're staggered. So you read 1, 1, 1, then 2, 2, 2. So the first lot that come out is The Age of the God Eater, and it's called Herald. They're like 800 pages though.
Oh, okay.
So just throwing a big fancy out there. And this is book 1, and it says, 1,000 years ago, humanity's greatest heroes killed God. Across the land of Helicia, the iron grasp of the godless kings is failing. Demons stalk the deep forest. Monsters break free of their prisons beneath the world vein, and terrors of the old world rise again. Deep in the wintry village of Rivenden, Rhaenyra Washer lives the dreamy life of a laundry girl, dreaming of excitement and adventure, but in her blood hides a secret. The angels are not all gone. When a stranger from her mother's past appears with a dire warning, Rhaenyra's peaceful life is shattered, and she's thrown headfirst into a millennia-old war between heaven and earth. Only the herald can bring in the 5th age. Only the herald can bring the god back to life. History is written in blood. The future is forged in holy fire. So
Interesting.
That's the first one in the Age of Gods. I can't remember what the other trilogies are called, but I just think it's such a cool concept.
It's a bit of a gamble as well. Like, it is interesting.
Yeah.
Especially with the people who've got this habit of, like, waiting until a series is finished before they'll buy it.
Yeah. So
or read it.
This, as I said, they did a Kickstarter, so you could either back, you could choose to back digital, physical, or audio, or like a combination thereof. So if you backed it, the digital books have already gone out. So I've been seeing reviews of the first book, and very good reviews. So
is this author, where do you follow them to know all this backstory?
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've been following people who backed the Kickstarter and have already read that one, Herald. So the other 2 series are called Archive of the God Eater, and that first book is called Demon. That one comes out on the 23rd of July. Oh, so that's the last one, sorry. So the one after Herald is Deathless, which comes out on the 9th of July, and that's Annals of God Eater. That's 200 pages. So there's quite a difference in those. Yeah. And then Demon, which is Archive of the God Eater, and that comes out on the 23rd of July. And then I think
rapidly one after the other.
Yeah, I mean, he's already written them, I think. And then the number 2 start rolling out, I think, in like September or something. And yeah, interesting. I'm going to give it a try. Yeah. I'm a bit annoyed at how big that first one is, but apart from that.
Well, you're reformed. You've been reading the big books.
I've been reading a series. I've been reading the big books.
We've kind of switched, you know, because I've been hopping all over the place. Yeah. And my books have been shorter this year overall. And I've done like a shit ton of audios this year. Yeah. Probably just due to life though.
Yeah, I mean, this year I didn't set myself a number goal. It was page number to try and encourage myself to not be scared of big books. So maybe it's working.
It seems like it is. We've like switched places. Yeah. I used to be the serial reader. Yeah. Like series reader. I was like looking at my bookshelves and I've got all these series that I haven't even started, and I'm like, this is so unusual for me.
That's not like
I'm gravitating towards like the 111.
The standalones. Yeah, maybe you just need like the mind.
I think
mind numb kind of version.
No, I just think it's impatience. Because I've been a bit busy. So I think it's affecting my reading habits of being like, get it done, you know? Yeah. So I'm trying to, with everything, I'm trying to slow down.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, this bug I caught is definitely because I was burnt out. Yeah. It's definitely because I got run down and I'm like, I can't keep doing this cycle.
I really wish I could not be burnt out. I've been burnt out for like 3 years now and I'm sick of it.
Was this stuff? Because, like, I went on holiday and I was like, I had so much rest. I was a new woman after this holiday, which is why I got sick.
Yeah, you were ready for it. You opened up.
My body was like, hey, you're relaxed. It's time.
You're ready.
It's time. I've been holding this one back.
Yeah, now your defences are down.
Well, because I got that throat infection in February, I'm just not unconvinced that I'm like, the doctor didn't say it, but I was like, I'm just so sure that I never properly recovered from that. Because that's around the times I had to switch jobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, just put that to the back seat. I was like, I don't feel that ill, just ignore that. And my body was like, hey, it's been 3 months. You're not going to ignore it anymore.
Oh my God. So, I had like a horrible flu, whatever. I don't know what it was, bug, COVID, flu, whatever it was. And just to kick me whilst I was down, my body decided it was the perfect time for my periods to come back. Now, I've not had these since I was pregnant with my daughter, so I've not had a period for nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh. Thanks, body. So my body was the same. It was really like, whilst we're here,
why you've slowed down a bit,
and let's just fucking go for it. Here's all the shit.
Now for me, life was becoming more relaxed, and I was like,
no. Mine was like, now life's more stressed.
Yeah. I'm just gonna double work. I did catch a cold on top of the chest infection I had, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" I had like one day where I felt better, and I was like, "Oh, glorious!
I'm done.
I'm healed."
Speaking of reading indie series,
I've
been reading Zodiac Academy.
Yeah,
I am taking a break at the moment, but
how far did you get? I can't remember which book number.
I've done up to 5.
Okay, you did well because they're not. That's what I mean. They are long books.
So I am coming back to number 6. I needed a break. If you've read the books, I'm sure you will understand that one of the main characters is just annoying. I know. Look,
she just gets in her own way.
I know it's great to read female characters that are not all like. What's like submissive and happy and like doing whatever makes everyone else happy. It's nice to have a character that fucks up her own shit and gets in the way of her own happiness. That's interesting, but they're long books and it gets tiring. So I needed a break.
Yeah.
I've joined the Zodiac Academy Reddit, and a lot of people on there around book 4 or 5 are like, she's just constantly getting in her own way and it's depressing. I don't know if I want to read anymore.
Yeah.
And I've been looking at people's replies and they're like, yeah, that carries on till book 9, don't worry.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's just her character, don't worry.
Just when they start to figure shit out, something goes wrong again. So.
But yeah, I'm hoping to pick that up again maybe next month. I think I'll give it like a month break.
You've done quite well. I've made no progress with book 8. It's just not my vibe right now, because book 8 is right after the shit goes down at the end of book 7, and we're in like the phase where they're picking up the pieces, and it's just a bit depressing. And also it's the same sad bit, but they're telling it through all the different POVs,
like just really,
and that's the bit I'm currently stuck in, and I'm like, I feel like we've really done this. Also,
I think what I'll do is when I come back to it, I think I'm going to do like from the boys' point of view.
Yeah.
Like the first book and stuff, just for like.
Now you've got past this bit with like Darius, where you're starting to learn about his backstory.
Come and do some of like the little fun side book. Some of the side books are just as long now.
Yeah, but I think
authors.
I think it's because I read the one that's from Darius's point of view, and I can't
You can't.
So the book is the events of book 8 from Darius's point of view, and he is separated from the rest in some way.
Okay.
And that's the only way I can describe that without spoiling what happens. And it's snatches of this story told from that point of view. And because I read that by accident first.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
This is how I figured out I missed a book by accident. I think that's also not helping. And I've already read that entire book, Milks, the sad thing that happens at the end of book 7, but just from Darius's point of view. So I've already been through it,
experienced it,
and already know how it ends as well, which is like no one's fault, but it means an 1,000-page book rehashing the same story that I already read a 500-page book of.
Yeah.
I'm struggling a bit.
Yeah.
But when I read the initial 7, I did read them straight up in a week or 9 days or something.
Yeah. So towards the end of the year, we'll probably have an episode just devoted to them.
Yeah.
So next week we will have a Wayward Children.
No, it's the compilation episode.
Oh yeah.
So we're trying something a bit different next week. Something our editor has had the idea for. He's gonna go through a lot of our reading updates and do something with our tangents, whether it's just to vindictively prove we don't understand history, which is just what he wants to do because it frustrates him so much that we don't have a grasp.
So it's going to be a surprise for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's either going to be making fun of our lack of grasp of history and geography, or it's just going to be funny bits from our tangents throughout reading updates or whatever. It's just going to go...
whatever's amused him.
Yeah. So we don't actually know what's going to be in next week's episode, but... we're trying something different. Yeah. We hope you like it.
When I saw it on our thing, I was like, what even is this?
I realised I haven't actually told you any of these plans.
Yeah, I was like, look, I understand what a compilation is, but what is this in relevance to us?
I just put it in the plan and then published it, and I was like, I probably should have told my co-host.
Shows how out of the loop I've been recently, though.
Well, no, it's also it didn't even occur to me that I'd had that conversation with Gab.
Yeah, and if you don't have it in the WhatsApp group, I'm just
it was in person because he offered.
I'm excited to see this though.
I don't know what's going to be in it. So yeah, it's entirely our editor's idea.
In case you didn't know, Gav, our editor, has literally been here since almost day one. He is very much a part of this podcast. You did the first 3, didn't you? Yeah.
And then around Kiddies, it was like, okay, this actually isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
And then I'm quite a busy bee generally, so my brother was like, look, I'll just do it I'll do a few, because he at the time was between jobs, and he was like, I'll just cover you guys.
Yeah, and then ended up being
we've just been like,
the third part of the.
Can you keep this the silent part of the podcast? So he may or may not speak in next week's episode as well. I don't know what he's going to do.
It's all in his hands.
It's all completely in his hands, which is very
excited.
Weird. I know.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to sit there and listen to myself that much and pick out bits. No.
Yeah, I don't know, because I listen to so many of ours. Although I used to go back through and audit them to keep track of where we're at. I don't have the time for that.
So, if you don't already, please subscribe to us wherever you listen to this podcast. Set up auto download, and then it's always available for you offline. And
you get a little notification when we post as well.
And please like or rate us wherever you listen to your podcast as well. We'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, we've been working on the podcast comes out on the same time on the same day. Yeah, so it should come out Thursday at 10 a.m. unless something's seriously gone wrong with me that week.
That's our time.
Yeah, UK time, sorry.
Yeah.
British summertime we're in now.
Yeah, well, I couldn't remember which one we're in.
We're in BST now.
So
what's it called when it's winter time?
GMT.
Yeah.
Lovely. So we will see you next week for a surprise
whatever's happening
for everyone. Bye.
Bye.